Hello and welcome. You're watching 5 at 5. I think it's just 5 hours back. We met you with a completely different subject around with MS Dhoni. Now we are very close as far as the game is concerned, as far as the preview is concerned. But this particular video will not be on will MS Dhoni play, will MS Dhoni come. There are multiple things around in social media at this point of time. This video will particularly tells you about the selection meeting going to be happen tomorrow in Guwahati, which we are, hearing as of now. And if I'm not wrong, I think Shamikda correct me there that this is the first time when we see a Indian team selection meeting going to be held in Guwahati, and it's an important selection meeting because we all know that our test team. The last time when we played Test cricket, it was not that good as far as results are concerned. We were beating quite convincingly by South Africa, and ODIs. Yes, we lost the ODI series also. But yeah, ODIs we played really better, as far as home conditions are concerned. South Africa we won, New Zealand we lost. So yeah, Australia before that we lost. So multiple losses as far as ODI cricket is concerned and Test cricket is concerned. This is going to be a squad announcement for the one of Test versus Afghanistan, and then a three-match ODI series versus Afghanistan only. Multiple questions, obviously, about the injuries, the surprises, and there are a lot of chatter in social media at this point of time about their possible pickings. So I'll start with you, Shamikda. Uh, what's you I think you did a video, also a detailed video as far as the updates on this Indian team selection is concerned. Can we have a now completely look of this Indian cricket team which we're going to hear now, the test squad and the ODI squads? What are the latest as far as your sources are concerned, Shamikda? And about
Yeah,
tomorrow's meeting also, Shamikda. Any timings, first half or the second half? Who all gonna be there? Anything which you can tell us?
first of all, Rohit, you are right that maybe for the first time, selection meeting would be happening in Guwahati. But I'll still put a small rider because there is an outside chance that it could happen virtually also. But very, very likely, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right that very, very likely it would be in Guwahati. Now, see
Okay.
this. As you rightly mentioned, I did a video. I wrote a copy also.
Hmm.
This is a test match, one of test match against Afghanistan, which is outside the World Test Championship ambit. So, on the face of it, it gives you an opportunity to experiment. Given that you have been you have been pretty poor as far as Test cricket is concerned over the last 2 years since Gautam Gambhir took over. The team has been absolutely poor in the longest format. Now, two things. One is that Bumrah's workload obviously
Hmm.
will be in consideration because he is India's most valuable asset, Indian cricket's most valuable asset, and he has been playing almost non-stop since last September. So, Jasprit Bumrah, obviously the selectors will have a word with him, and if he is allowed to pull his heels, then who is the backup? Siraj has a very high workload threshold. So I expect Siraj to lead the bowling attack, and then who? Akib Nabi. Akib Nabi, what I'm told that he is very much in the reckoning. Now, if you even going beyond the sources, if you don't take someone who has taken 60 wickets in a Ranji season, it would be a travesty. It would be an absolute travesty. It would send a wrong message that you are not considering, you are not giving importance to domestic cricket. That is one point. Akib Nabi is firmly in the reckoning. Sarfraz, I think Rohit, you also know that he came very close to playing that second test in Guwahati. He was
Yeah.
under serious consideration to be included as a replacement for the injured Shubman Gill. Somehow it didn't happen. Somehow it didn't happen, but Sarfraz came very close. Obviously, Sarfraz and the middle order, if you look at the middle order, it's a porous middle order, especially in tricky conditions, especially against Spain. Earlier, we used to be vulnerable against pace. Now we cannot play spin either, and back-to-back home series whitewashes attest that. So Sarfraz is a very good player against spin. So Sarfraz, I expect him to be in consideration, and very likely against Afghanistan, India will have or might have a new number three, and that is Devdutt Padikkal. Devdutt Padikkal has been part of the Test squad over the last
Yeah,
1 year or so. He has been
yeah,
part of the Test squad. That
yeah.
Sai Sudarshan's innings, 159 ball 14, and it's not about the number of balls he consumed. It's the total lack of control. He could have gotten out at least 5 times during that innings, during that 14-run innings. And
Mm.
he was supposed to be India's long-term investment in Test at number three, but that was enough to break the camel's back. So from that point of view, I Devdutt Padikkal, what I am told, is in consideration to be India's new number three.
I think interesting to see the kind of names which are coming up at this point of time as far as Indian team's test match selection is concerned. Obviously, we'll jump to the ODIs thing also, but Webber, as far as the open positions as far as the number 3 point is there. We have tried multiple combinations. If you see that England series, we started with Sai, we went back to Karun, we then again went back to Sai, then a Washi Sundar also tried in the test cricket scene, and then obviously we have this the factor of Sai Sudarshan again coming in, which Shamikda already told us that yes, he contributed, yes, he consumed a lot of deliveries, but the kind of confidence it has to give us, it wasn't there. Dhruv Jurel also playing that stroke which none of us like, and there was a lot of lot of things in social media after that, a lot of things in mainstream media also after that. He was known for the kind of temperament he held in that India A series, be it the England Lions also. There he played a very crucial one. And apart from that, also there were a lot of contributions. If you see that India versus England Test series, when he contributed well in that Ranchi Test, I think he was the man of the match, if I'm not wrong, in that Ranchi Test. So overall, coming to the point, Test cricket, what can we expect? Because this is a one-off test. Can we go, for all the answers in this particular selection? Or do you think that there will be more to it when we will travel to Sri Lanka? Similar kind of conditions when you come down to, tackling spin and quality spinners, conditions also can be very much likely, which can test your batters to limits. And then obviously there are a lot of open positions and open slots also. Is you going means Are you going to have every answer in this particular squad announcement, or you think that there will be something for the later also?
I think just because it's one-off test match and a lot of first-choice players, they'll be coming off the IPL. Like for example, a Jasprit Bumrah, even for Mohammad Siraj. Although Mohammad Siraj didn't played a lot of games, I think he just played one game in the T20 World Cup, and then he was rested. So I think it will depend on how much, what kind of workload management they are putting. Like the BCCI, the selectors, workload management is one thing that is going around, that is a part of the calendar. You look at the series that is there. See, this one-off test is not a part of the WTC cycle, that selectors know. There are two ways of looking at this particular test. Your players are not doing in red ball cricket, so just give the players who are not doing well but part of your test team, just give this one-off test, and let's game ask them to score. They can perform in this test and they can take that confidence to Sri Lanka. The other way of looking at it is, this is just one off test, not part of the WTC cycle. So just leave it on. We will start fresh. We will have a different squad in Sri Lanka. This is just an experimental, like our second string squad for Afghanistan. Just because it is Afghanistan, like we played in 2017, although there was Murli Vijay Shikhardhan, a lot of first choice players were there that played that historic one off test. But for this one, I think selectors will experiment. Selectors will give chances to the ones who have performed in the Ranji, and not just one season. I think couple of seasons. Whether it's an Akib Nabi, whether it's a Harsh Dubey, because those two bowlers have done really well. If you look at the domestic cricket, last 2 seasons they have done really well. So there are two ways of looking at it. I think for this particular test match, the one-off test match against Afghanistan, it will be more about the second string and the first choice players. They will be asked to take rest before the Indian team flies to Sri Lanka.
So when they're coming to the squad announcement, the first thing obviously will be about the batters. You have a number 3 slot, which is, very much there, very much open there. And there are multiple discussions around it. Shamik, that the early part of the video said that, there could be a possibility that you will see a Devdutt Padikkal, who was also there when we were in Perth last to last year in Border Gavaskar Trophy. His name was there at the number 3 position. He started the number three, that slot in absence of Rohit Sharma. So if you talk about this particular combination, do you think that number three, if number three goes to Devdutt Patikal, do we have any other slots to fill into? If we are talking about an Indian team who's getting ready as far as this Afghanistan test is concerned, and not only about this Afghanistan test, but I am not thinking that Indian team, like lot of media reports saying that no easy test caps for any Indian player. It won't be like we will be distributing debut caps because this is just one
Yeah,
off test and this is not part of the WTC cycle. It's not going to be that. But as I said, asked to Weber also, that do we get each and every answer in this particular test squad selection, and what do you think who could be the new inclusions, and is there anyone, like you reported also, you wrote a copy also, there's a lot of chatter around it in social media, about about your copy. So can you give us a detail as far as what you had as at this point of time, after talking to your sources and everyone around?
by the way, Simran is also trying to join us from Chennai, so we'll get to know what's the buzz around
Is
MS
she in
Dhoni.
Chennai?
Yes, yes, yes. She's in Chennai. Simran, are you in Chennai, right? You are in Chennai, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So
Oh,
how's the buzz around MS Dhoni? If you can tell us if you have spoken to anyone.
Okay, so there's a lot of people wearing MSC jerseys right now,
Mhm.
and mostly everybody is in CSK jerseys as well. So there are a lot of people selling jerseys over here as well, and mostly everybody is looking for the Thala jersey.
Mhm. Kala jersey. So fans are
Yeah.
expecting him to play and turn up for at least one time in the season. Okay, okay,
I think
pretty cool. So
I think I think
Simran,
I
have
think
you spotted the team bus? Simran, have you spotted the team bus coming to the stadium?
Not yet, sir. Nobody as of now.
Okay.
I think so. It's not that part of the stadium where the team bus enters from. Is that is
uh,
that is that the gate right behind where there's metro station also?
yes,
Because
I
the
think so. I think so.
I'm on that metro station gate only, and I think Dhoni will be on the left hand side of the bus at the very last seat. So there could be a possible, if the curtains are on, then there is no chance I will see Dhoni. But if not, then there will be a visit, and he often does this. Whenever he sees the crowd and the bus is not in a high speed, then obviously he wave back to the crowd because he know that everyone is there for him only.
Simran,
Uh,
stand nearby the MS Dhoni shop. You'll get to see the team bus there, and possibly a
Okay.
glimpse of MS Dhoni. The
Yeah.
no,
team
no,
bus
no,
comes from there only, no? No, it
no,
comes
no,
from
no.
there
Okay,
and
I
takes
think
a
the team
turn.
bus has already arrived.
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Then this is a game for you to enjoy. I think after the game,
Yeah.
you never know. You might see a announcement from the big man himself. You never know.
Yeah.
So okay. Enjoy the experience.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Yeah, so Shubhanda, just coming back
Yeah.
to that question only, that yeah, the Test cricket announcement, the Test squad announcement, and if is there anything which you are getting from your sources about the team, and is there any new faces, any comeback faces? There's a lot of chat around Mohammad Shami, so yeah, do let us know about that also.
No, not a lot of changes. I'm not expecting, as you only said, that you don't expect test caps to be handed to anyone and everyone in this setup. The batting unit, what you saw in the last test series, it will be very much similar there. Maybe you will see a Devdutt Padikkal come into the system once again, but don't be surprised if you see Washington Sundar continue at number three spot. He made a good impression of himself with his technique. Stayed there for a lot of deliveries out there. I think he scored a 50 also, if I can remember
He scored
correctly.
a
Weber.
150 for Tamil Nadu
150.
last season
No, that's
at
that's
number 12.
before he made his return to the Indian setup.
Yeah.
That was his last Ranji game, I think, at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. But when he was batting at number three, I think he played a lot of deliveries against in the last Test series
Yeah,
at
he
number
played the
three. So
most number of deliveries at Eden
most
Gardens.
number of yes. So
Most
so his
number of
technique.
deliveries.
Yes. So his technique is there. So it's now all about polishing him, and of course there are plenty of other candidates also. Be it a Devdutt Padikkal, be it a Sai Sudarshan. So it will be a juggle between all these players, but don't expect too many players, new players coming into the play, because you have someone like a Sarfaraz Shamik also wrote, who is not getting a chance into the setup. So if there's a space, you might see Devdutt Padikkal come in, Sarfaraz Khan come in. In regards to the bowling department, I am not expecting Jasprit Bumrah to play this one-off test. Mohammad Siraj, there will be a discussion after on 19th whether to go ahead with Mohammad Siraj or not, because he's an integral part of your ODI setup. And soon after the Test series, you'll head to England. You'll play the ODI setup, and after that, you have that Sri Lanka Test series where you will see Mohammad Siraj play a part. And Siraj has been there. Siraj was playing the Ranji domestic cricket before he was called up to the T20 side, World Cup side, and then the IPL. So he's playing constant cricket. So don't be surprised if you don't see Mohammad Siraj, but that's the discussion that will be held on 19th. If not Mohammad Siraj, then Prasidh Krishna will lead the line. You will see someone like a Nitish Kumar Reddy, who has been impressive with his increase in pace in this setup in this IPL. So you might see a Nitish Kumar Reddy retain his place in the 11. Second pacer is something which you have to look into, whether that will be a return of Mohammad Shami. What I have heard, there will be discussion on his name, but a final call will depend on the chief selector and the coach's head coach, whether they want a Mohammad Shami into the setup once again or not. But there will be a definite discussion around Mohammad Shami, because leave you can't have a Prasidh Krishna and a debutant in Akib Nabi leading your pace attack and a Nitish Kumar Reddy as your third bowler. With all due respect, Akib Nabi's pace was discussed when they had a informal chat around the team. All the selectors had a informal chat around the team a week earlier, I would say. But apart from that, don't expect. Akib Nabi might not come into the setup, but don't expect too many changes in the test scheme of things. You will play three spinners possibly, which will have a Kuldeep Yadav, a Ravindra Jadeja, and a Washington Sundar. And then you will have a Nitish Kumar Reddy as your third bowling option, and two pacers. It will be either Prasidh or Siraj. It could be Prasidh or Shami, or it could be Prasidh or Akib Nabi. We will see on what calls the selection management take. But the big thing is, in the ODI setup, you might say Rishabh Pant loses spot as a backup wicket keeper, and you might see a entry of Sanju Samson there.
Okay, as far as Washington Sundar is concerned, Shamika. Yeah.
Rohit, just one more thing, just a continuation to your question that you said whether it can be an experimental squad for Test cricket for the one of Test. The answer is plain and simple: no. I'm giving a after the squad selection, Women's World Cup squad selection meeting. Some of us had an interaction with Mr. Devajit Saikia, the business secretary, at Cricket Center, and there this question. In fact, I asked this question that and just the day before India had slipped to number 3 in the ICC rankings, and the business secretary said our revival in Test cricket will start from the match against Afghanistan. So at this moment, in terms of as far as Test cricket is concerned, India have zero margin for errors. They cannot experiment. And Afghanistan, of course, their players don't have that much of experience to play Test cricket, that much experience to speak of, but they have the wherewithal to stretch the host. So from that point of view, India will not take any chances. Jasprit Bumrah's case is obviously different. Jasprit Bumrah very unlikely to play because of the workload management. But as because Siraj has a very high workload threshold, in that case, because he might be rested they might rest him for the ODI series, but Siraj will have to. There is a definite possibility, because other than that, it would be a very, very undercooked, very, very callow bowling attack. So that is the thing. But to your question that whether it can be an experimental test site, the answer is plain and simple no.
I think almost 419 deliveries and 124 runs for Washington Sundar in those, two test matches, 4 innings, where he scored a 48 also. Almost played more than 100 deliveries in each and every innings, apart from that 16 of 48 balls in the second innings of Guwahati Test. Apart from that, 122 deliveries, first innings Kolkata Tens, 122 deliveries, second innings Eden Gardens, 127 first innings in Guwahati, where he scored that 48, which Shubhanda is telling at this point of time, and then 48 deliveries, 16 runs for Washington Sundar. So a lot of deliveries he has taken, which is a kind of parameter, as far as when you are trying to save a test match, or rather than want to make an important contribution. And the Guwahati performance is not the number 3 performance. So we have to put this in our mind also, that Yes, technically, we all saw what he did in Manchester also. Him scoring 100 with Ravindra Jadeja just to save a test match was really important. His little cameo in Australia when we are talking about that 21-20 Border Gavaskar Trophy, hitting Pat Cummins to a 6 over fine leg is one glimpse of that he can bat. And then obviously, I'm not comparing the formats, but the way he's doing his things in Gujarat Titans before that, the 5 match T20I series in Australia, we all came to know that this guy has the ability to bat, not only technically, but he can hit the ball really hard. So yeah, that is a possibility. But coming to you, Shamikda, again, is there something in the ODI setup also, like Shubhanda said, there is a possibility that Sanju, there are people who are discussing Ishan's name also, that in place of Rishabh Pant, there are two names which are in chat at this point of time. Is there any kind of surprises? Hardik Pandya, are we completely agree with this that Hardik Pandya is completely fit now because he has arrived in Kolkata also? Mumbai Indians with their social media put that through that Hardik Pandya is in Kolkata. Is he completely fit? Because he was in Raipur also, didn't play the game there. Then he went back to Mumbai. Then we also, you only shared that Instagram, I think, video or the real content where he was practicing a night practice of Hardik Pandya. Then he didn't play it in the Dharamshala match also. Now we are all hoping that he can play that KKR game. But he and then Rohit, will Rohit be a completely fit player because he's playing as impact player as of now? The last game he played as an impact player. This is giving us an idea that there is still something in his hammy, or he doesn't want to risk it. So are we completely sure about Hardik Pandya and Rohit Sharma as far as the ODI selections are concerned?
As far as Hardik Pandya is concerned, Rohit, you can never be 100% sure, given that he has a glass body, given his tendency to break down. Rohit, you made a good point because even in the last game, when he took a very, sharp single, he felt his
Yes,
hammy. He felt his
yes,
hammy. He was feeling his hammy. But then again, there is still time. There is still time, and Rohit, I expect to be fit. Hardik,
yeah,
never know. And the official word from MI that they will decide on the match day whether he will be playing against KKR. But there is an expectation that he might be returning to the fold. If he doesn't do, then Surya will be there. Surya will lead. But Hardik, once again, 100% you cannot confirm. But I think Shubhan has raised a very interesting and very valid question over Rishabh Pant, whether he will be part of the setup. And see, it's a double-edged sword. Given that Rishabh Pant hasn't played an ODI since 2024 August in Sri Lanka, and Rohit, you and I were there in that series. So
yes.
after that, he hasn't played. He came very close to playing an ODI in Baroda, but then again, it happened in front of my eyes also, and he had that side strain, that oblique tear, and once again, that put paid to his hopes to returning to the ODI fold. Now, the question is that if you are if you are convinced that Rishabh Pant is not, it will not be in our scheme of things going ahead as far as white ball cricket is concerned, and he has been reduced to only a single format player, then yes. And Shubhan has written, I have done a video that Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan are snapping at his heels. It is nothing down to his IPL form. The selectors don't look into the IPL form for proven performance. Otherwise, Riyan Parag wouldn't have been the vice captain of the A team, and Tilak Verma wouldn't have been the captain of the A team to Sri
Sure.
Lanka. They don't read into that performance. But there is a perception that Rishabh Pant is struggling to crack the white ball code, and that is why. And we have Ishan Kishan, who has performed in white ball cricket. Sanju Samson has always been knocking on the door. So you have, maybe you don't know, you have quality options. You have, that is one thing. Then again, the counter logic is that, and I'm going to write a copy in a couple of hours on this. That why, I mean, it is very unfair without giving him any game time. He has been part of your setup over for the last 2 years. You haven't given him a game and then dropping him. Under which, under which logic are you dropping him? This is a counter logic. So these are the two things that the selectors will have to take. But this is a very interesting issue and very interesting conversation as well.
Vaibhav, anything in ODI setup you think that there is to be changed, because there are three particular ODIs. After that, there will be a tricky series outside India that will be in England. So before that, is there anything? And when it comes down to the white ball series, I know that red ball won't be that competitive. If it is a competitive series, then obviously full marks to Afghanistan, and maybe a kind of wicket where there is anything for the spinners. Then we all know that how dangerous will be a Afghanistan side. But white ball definitely be a more trickier series than a red ball competition. Is there anything you are looking forward to as far as this team selection is concerned? Are there any new faces? Are there any new names? Will there be anything between Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja? Who to pick? Because in Australia they said that we are going with Akshar Patel. Then when they return to India, then it's Ravindra Jadeja. So there is still a lot of discussions around these two names. Will there be a Ravindra Jadeja or be Akshar Patel? And then the other names also, Rohit, Hardik, because of the fitness issues. And the bowlers are also there. Arshdeep was very much part of your scheme of things in ODIs. Harshit Rana, he won't be there, I think. But as far as the bowling attack is concerned, who will be
Rohit, don't rule out Manav Sutar also.
Manav Sutar? Yeah. So Manav Sutar is also a name. He could be there. So yeah, your guesses.
See, Manav Sutar, he could have been part of the India A team as well. Which was recently named, but
No,
again, selectors going
was
with
not
Harsh
there.
Dubey because if you look at the last 1 or 2 season, he's been the best left-arm spinner in domestic cricket, and he can bat as well. The only thing that adds value to Harsh Dubey's skill is he can bat as well, and he's a better spinner, uh, going by the performance. But if you talk about the ODI selection, the bowling part, I think we Indian team knows that Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj are locked. They need to find that their third pace, and that's what the discussion in the last time around when the New Zealand series was going. Now, since Harshit Rana is not there, and I don't think he will be there for the squad. I don't think selectors will consider
Don't be
because he
surprised
has
if Prince Yadav is there.
yeah, exactly. So that
Yeah,
that is where I was coming.
absolutely. And
That
also,
is where
Vaibhav, just interrupting for you, I spoke about Manav Sutar in context of Test, not for the ODIs.
Yeah.
yeah. A test, even if you look, that's what I'm saying.
No,
That if you look
Kuldeep
at
and
red ball
Ravindra
series,
Jadeja would be there. So it's
yeah.
a fight between Akshar and Manav Sutar. There is a
See,
school of
if
thought
it is
that
a fight,
he
if it, see
no,
if it
he
is a
should
fight,
be as because this is the one-off test. He should be brought into the squad just as a squad member to at least have a feel of the dressing room. There is a school of thought regarding that, but that is for the test squad.
see
So that is. Please continue.
if it is for a red ball squad, definitely Harsh Dubey any day ahead of Manav Sutar. Just look at the way he has batted and bowled
But he's with
in
India
domestic
A.
cricket. Yeah, with India, he travelled. See, last year there was a lot of talk before the England series that could Harsh Dubey be added because he had a record season. He broke Bishan Bedi's record, long-standing record of 69 wickets in
No,
a
but
particular
the thing
season.
is that when this series will be going on, Harsh Dubey is in Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
The
I
thing
know,
is
I
that.
know that, but I'm talking about from the red ball point of view. That when red ball series, if you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to pick
obviously in
red ball
England,
series,
when Indian
if
team
it
was
comes
announced for
down to
England Lions also Harsh Dubey was there. India
exactly,
A.
so that selection was done on the basis of his Ranji performances. Yes, last
Yes,
season wasn't as good as
highest
the
wicket taker.
last. Yes, exactly. So if you have to bring in the closest replacement of closest player of Ravindra Jadeja's caliber, then it is him. Then he will any day pip Manav Sutar on that in that race because he's an all-rounder. Manav Sutar is not a batter; he's a genuine bowler. So Akshar
Yes.
Patel, if you'll go by that thing, then Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, and then Harsh Dubey will come in that bracket.
And
But
then you have
coming
a
to the
Tanush Kotian. If you are going for a person who can bat and bowl a right arm off spin, then you
yeah,
have a Tanush Kotian there. Yeah.
definitely. Tanush Kotian has been a brilliant performer. But coming to the fast bowling, I think the third fast bowling option is the slot where selectors are looking, where they are trying a lot of players. Prasidh Krishna, I will not be surprised if Prasidh Krishna is also there in the ODI setup because since there are not a lot of options, as Subayan also said, Prince Yadav could be one. Prince Yadav could be one because the way he has bowled. If Mohsin Khan would have been fit, definitely he would have been considered. But now, interesting thing would be whether Arshdeep plays or not. Whether they pick Arshdeep for this particular series or not, because I don't see Arshdeep in the red ball in the one-off test squad. So could be that Arshdeep can be tried for this series since Harshit Rana is unlikely to play for this one. I don't think he selectors will consider him, given that he hasn't played any sort of cricket since picking up that injury. So Harshit Rana is in Harshit Rana's place. You have a Arshdeep Singh, you have a Prasidh Krishna, Prince Yadav. So there are a lot of fast bowlers which you can try. Nitish Kumar Reddy, this series I think selectors can give it to him just because he has
Yes.
added a yard of pace. Uh, Before that, there was this, in January we were talking about this. Should Indian team play Nitish Kumar Reddy, because at number 8 you're not utilizing him either as a bowler or as a batter. So number 8 is too low for him. But now since he has a good IPL, of course, he has added pace and he's looking better with the ball. So now you can give him one more series just to try and see where Nitish Kumar Reddy stands, whether he can have a good series. So I think around that only 3-4 fast bowlers, Nitish Kumar Reddy, whether Hardik plays or not is another debate. But Akshar Patel, I think Akshar Patel should come in, because last series against New Zealand, which you lost, that in that series Ravindra Jadeja played, and Ravindra Jadeja has made it clear that he wants to play 2027 World Cup. But again, can you going by the performance? Can you allow Ravindra Jadeja to be in the squad on the basis of performance? On the basis of performance, he hasn't done anything in last 1.5 years. Even if you look at the Australia tour, so high time that selectors will have to come together and make this call, a bold call, that make this to pass on this message to Ravindra Jadeja. See, we have looked at you, we have seen your performances. Now it's done. Now we are looking beyond. It's time for Akshar Patel, and we are looking at Akshar Patel for the 27 World Cup, because only 1 year will be left. Whatever series is there, I think Akshar should get a long run in that spot.
Sure. Okay. And last night also Vikram Rathod told us about that. There was a niggle as far as Ravindra Jadeja is concerned. That was one of the reasons why he was not in the playing 11. But Shubhendra, coming to the middle order thing and the bowling changes, as you rightly said, that Prince Yadav could be a factor. We all were surprised when we saw that India A list and there was no. I was surprised by Vipraj Nigam's name also there, because there are more quality bowlers than Vipraj Nigam as far as the domestic cricket is concerned. But there was no Prince Yadav there. Mohsin Khan, for the obvious reasons that is he 100% fit at this point of time, we all don't know. But Nitish Kumar Reddy, again, was there any possibility to keep a Nitish Kumar Reddy there? The kind of bowling he did, the batting contribution of his during this IPL. So there were multiple things. And then Nitish, we all know that NKR was part of the test setups in India also. We saw him, yeah, he didn't bowl, but they were kept on pushing him that yes, you have to be there so that you will be ready for a New Zealand tour or for any other away tour. So are there any surprises as far as the middle order and the batters are concerned, apart from that Rishabh Pant thing, Rishabh Pant with Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, then Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja and the bowlers?
Batting wise, the only thing I see them discussing is about Rohit Sharma and Hardik Pandya. These are the two concerns, fitness related thing. If they are deemed fit, then they will be there. Nitish, I think, should be there, considering the World Cup is in South Africa. Uh, Nitish can be. You never know. You can with Nitish in the squad, you can rest up a Hardik Pandya in, and with in games with lesser ranked teams, you can rest Hardik Pandya and go with Nitish Kumar Reddy as well. And so far, 23 ODI World Cup was in India, so we saw three spinners operating, two all rounders and one proper spinner. Now there, I think, will be maximum two spinners. It can be two all rounder spinners or one all rounder, one specialist spinners. That will depend. But you won't see three spinners, so that opens up one spot. If Nitish can, put up regular performances in domestic for India, whatever chances he gets, then he can be a very handy bat at number 6, number 7, and can give you 4, 5, 6 overs if need be. So that is something which, of course, when Harshit Rana comes in, Team India has recently tried Harshit Rana as your pinch hitter, as your trying to be a bowling all rounder. So that
Yes.
will, I think, that experiment might continue or might not continue. That we will see.
But
But
he
that is
contributed
also a
in Melbourne
possibility.
also. The Melbourne
Yes,
T20,
yes,
it was the
yes.
first
Don't rule
tournament
that
where
out.
he contributed, yes.
Yes, yes. So don't rule that out. And if that message is clear to Harshit that we want you to be our bowling all rounder in South Africa, then I am pretty sure all the throwdown specialists, batting coach, they will work extra with Harshit, and Harshit will also need to put in some extra hard work to improve his batting. But that don't rule out that possibility. Uh, apart from that, I would say there. Prasidh Krishna is there. Prasidh will be definitely in contention for the ODI setup. South African conditions, you will have
Yes.
Prasidh in contention. So apart from that, I don't see any further changes.
That's it.
ODI setup, I see a full strength squad coming in. Maybe a Jasprit Bumrah you might rest or you might not rest and play him then. After this Afghanistan series, play Jasprit Bumrah full throttle in ODIs, but you might see Jasprit Bumrah getting rested. I don't know
I
properly.
think I think Mumbai's the IPL fixture is getting over on 21st, if I'm not wrong, and then
Yes.
there's good 2 weeks for Jasprit Bumrah to rest before the Test match. So
I do,
let's
I
see.
do, I do, I'm not seeing Jasprit Bumrah play the test match, but of course in ODIs you might see him play.
Sure. So yeah, that's it as far as the Indian team squad announcement for Afghanistan, the Test squad and the ODI squad is concerned.
Rohit,
Yes.
before you sign off, former England captain Mike Smith has passed away at the age of 92. So we
Okay.
mourn his death and condolences to his family.
Condolences. Yes, from our side. So yeah, that's
Om
what it
Shanti.
is all about at this point of time. India versus Afghanistan Test squad and ODI squad. Tomorrow, we'll give you all the details. We'll join you live in Rep Sports Hindi, in Rep Sports English, in Rep Sports Bangla. Wherever you are watching, you will be getting all the details, all the updates in our platform. So do make sure that you will subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that whenever we are coming live or uploading any kind of video, you will get the update. You can check out the Rev Sports website also for all the pieces. There also you'll get each and every detail about not only cricket but other sports also. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.